Never mind.
Did it bounce?
Ooh. Hey, it's me.
Thumbs up?
Hi. Is this thing on? Yes, it is. Let's get some feedback. Or forward. Let's just feed. I need chat. I can't do this alone. You. You? Aha. Let's see here. Where will this one go? Working on printing up Zen postcards. If you are a patron, you will know what I'm talking. They're not Zen postcards, though that would be cool. Let's go on Twitch. Twitch is where it's happening. Bailey's where it's happening. Discord is kind of where it's happening. Hey, look, it's me. I never slept the whole time. I was just twitching. Yeah. Yeah. So sorry. Robbie wants me to wait for him. But, welcome back. Give me just a second while I change that title. I guess 3D modeling is the topic. And let's just throw it up. Going up. Are you out of pinto beans? Said nobody in the chat. I'm just making this up. Let's have a look. Who are these people? Oh, hi, Garion. What's going on? My friend Mint Potion is also watching. Mint Potion should be your friend too. Actually, if you friend us on Twitch, then you can comment on our lovely things. Jake's gonna comment on my lovely things too. All right. So everyone's in the building. Look at this. Oh my. I need to mute my computer so I can see what chat's going on. What's going on, chats? Thank you guys for leaving your browser open. Let's get down to business. So, I'm not sure if there is sound coming out of my computer. Let's have a look. Because I got this email from my buddy, you see. I'm just gonna, like, make all of our archive streams useless by playing music that we're not supposed to play. Let's see here. Hey, Vistaprint. I may or may not have been doing that. Do I have a wireless keyboard too? I do have a wireless keyboard with me. I'm trying to set up myself to be in a slightly more comfortable situation. Right now, as you can probably tell, these lights that are reflecting in my sunglasses are not the most ideal of things. But let's hope this works. Press play. Anything could happen. Let's see. Yeah, just work, guy. Look, it's like a man who's doing a bunny. That might work. Let's turn that down a bit. There's a dog in this building. My name's Ben. I'm known as Angry Crow in the chat. I look like this. Yee-hee. That's not disturbing at all. Oh, and it's playing off of that little display. That will not do. Set default. Come to me. Television that makes no sound. Whatever. I mean, just let me know if you can't hear it. Which dog? There's a new dog in the building. By the name of Bailey. Here he is. He's kind of like Michelle, except he's faster. Come here. Uh, um, cool. Let's just do that then. Is this muted or anything? Nope. I don't know. Somebody might be able to hear it. I guess I should have just played it for myself and let you guys think about it. All right. So anyway, here's the scene that we have. I don't know if you were here last time. We worked on this guy, this huge armored arm from the armored core coring. That's pretty cool. These are all separate little parts. Oh, they should be. And we're gonna rig that up soon. I still have a couple of things in here that I want to add. Obviously, there isn't any floor, and that'll be as straightforward as grabbing all of these dudes and grouping them and moving them. Maybe this guy too. Oh no. Let's group that and let's get it moving. And we're gonna duplicate it and do that and kind of line it up pretty nice. Like that's pretty good. How good is that? Pretty good. Pretty good. And I can just kind of, whoa. Duplicate. I don't have my other arms going with it either. There it is. There you are. But I do want to detail it a bit more, but that's kind of why I haven't monkeyed around with it very much. So that's fun. How dope is this becoming? I don't know how dope. Is it Shift D? There we go. And so that will go down some distance. It still isn't the level of detail that I'm looking for, but that's kind of what I have to uncover before we get super hard on into this and I start telling people what to do asset-wise. Let's have a baseline. If I look at this without wireframe, on shaded, get a little bit of more of the sense of what I'm doing with smoothing groups. There's still a couple of little errors in here, like this. That's okay for now. How do we fix that? I'm not quite sure. I'd rather do it in the actual source file, not in my weird compilation file. So this guy is the great-great-grandson, whoa, hey, not of you, of this guy. And in this scene, I actually put a bit more, I don't know how to say love or detail. There are a couple of different types of arms that still don't exist. Like we had this guy we were working on. We can kind of take parts from that small one and put it on the larger one here. I don't know, maybe we'll finish that. Let me know. Supreme Surprise Server. Supreme Server. Has anybody in chat seen the NuRen Kickstarter? Know about this project and what's going on with all this? Let me know. I'll be waiting. I want to model these guys up here still. I don't know if they are. There's this patch which I should also enable, but I want the these guys. I like kind of circled it, and I said like, oh look, there are rails and tracks and all these little things. And we're gonna probably. I want to do as much procedural animation as possible. The NuRen Unreal project has what's it called? Like it works with MIDI channels, and we use that to drive a lot of the effects. So I want to do something with what appears to be a door back here in this scene. Right. And also, like I said, I think a couple of times, I don't want to go too much higher detail than what I have. Where is that other mesh? Import it. Just import me. There's conveyor arm, there's handle arm, and fab arm MLT, which I don't think is done. Yeah, that would be this guy over here. Let's get all of his pieces. We could model it in the scene live. So I'll grab you and group you, and I will center the pivot, little button. Just kind of move that guy into place. And I have to kind of model it out of place because of how I want to rig it, even though for this type of model, that really doesn't make too much of a difference. Obviously this guy doesn't really exist in that space, nor does his trim. I don't want to combine it if I'm gonna model right now. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Whoa, hey. Stop right there. Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Something like this, right? So I have a few different types of arms, and I will definitely have to copy and paste them. There are a couple of other small assets that I want to do. Tried the prototype with my now obsolete DK1. NuRen, you could be the next. I don't know. We should definitely have keys for that at some point. I'd like maybe, you know, when this project's actually done, that would be the way to go. So a lot of these assets are pretty simple, straightforward things. But there's this guy over here, which you recognize from that thing. There are more of these arms that seem to be taking stuff from one side and moving them to the other side. I actually have a, let's save this guy, as my working file. Fabrication factory working file, Maya LT. Yeah, it works. Yes, I would like to replace. Let's open up kind of, so I'm thinking about this motion, right? Where these guys kind of, I guess they lean or something like that? I didn't really think of that, because they're sitting on a track. Okay, so that gives me a little bit more leeway, but maybe it's not necessary. It's kind of, this is kind of planted. Think about concept art, you know, it's just the, you know, concept, it's just the idea. I've tried the demo precisely once, but I do want to introduce a little bit more high fidelity. Also, we should be able to get more detail because rendering for VR has been optimized a bit over the years since, you know, the DK2 hit the scene. Let's get my notes out of the way. So I don't know why that strikes me as a door. It's difficult to tell. I do want to do these battery things. That's probably a thing we can start from scratch. It looks like they're separate, they're together, who the heck knows. But there's like these, oh, tell me everyone, overlaid them. Keep going, there are more. Keep going. Boink. Hey, let's just duplicate that whole asset. So, what else have we got in this scene? I think I've pointed out what we have. I have this greeble that I have to do, as well as these kind of transformer blocks, these big blocks, which is pretty straightforward. But these guys up here, yes, you. Today, you are the victor. I want them. I don't know why I picked that shape for them, but it kind of seemed to be what I think the artist is going for. And it looks like, to me, a power supply that fits into these large battery, like, overhead array type of things. That would power these arms below. And that's really convenient if you, I don't know, are solar powered. Maybe you want to have your storage close to the roof. In the future, we can do that because we have the amazing technology to do so. Let's see, a couple of other details, but otherwise I'm just going to block out the shapes of these things. And we can continue with that block out type process, where I see I have one structure over here that maybe I see like the other side of. But I want to show you really quickly, kind of like the IK test for the conveyor arm, these little guys on the side here. And so it's the same model, but I get to do a bit more with the motion of it. So at the ends of this rig here, we have IK solvers, and they allow us to do cool robotic looking maneuvering. Look at them go. I have another IK solver right there, which controls the greater arm. It does need to be a bit more, like this weight seems wrong. I don't like how that bends. And that's probably because these are just two different meshes. Ooh, but it does look kind of cool twisted like that. Questions answers questions. So, that actually works relatively well. But we can use that to kind of drive like the top part, and then the bottom part will be driven by this kind of second arm. And that'll like, it's good for making animation, right? but it's not really good for procedural animation. Like the skeleton itself is important, but I'm not very much sold on. Whoa, what are you doing? I broke it now. So I'm not very much sold on a lot of the like, just kind of that implementation. Really, I think that it could be done. It could be done a little bit smarter. But you know, this arm doesn't really look like it moves. It looks like it bends at this hinge, right? And then bends further out here. And that was a fun, you know, super simple rig to put together, super quick. But for something like this mechanical, it's very effective. So we can work with that. But that's just kind of an example. I have other versions of it kind of sitting around in this scene, which are invisible. That might be the original. And I have a template. I don't think it's a template mining pose. It's probably something else, like another test I did. But enough of that. Let's go back. Actually, you know what? No. Let's start fresh. Alright. So, what are you doing? Let's call this scene Fab. Fam! Hey, thanks for coming to the stream, fam. You're the best. Fab. Battery. And I don't know if I have, I don't know, battery segment. We'll just call it a battery. Alright. Staving an empty scene. That's how you know you're making progress. Anyway, we're gonna focus on this thing. This should be actually very quick. You can tell that there's some kind of there's effort to make these things reflective. It looks like this is the type of asset that shows up in pairs, that is maybe slotted in and gets transferred around on this rail type thing. And transferring things around on rails is actually a very effective thing to do in games. It's very easy to make something appear multiple times in a list, or take an object from a list and move it, and we can kind of make a little script to do a lot of automated motion. And relatively soon, once I have the current version of the engine, because our engineer actually is finishing our update path for getting our obsolete development kit 2, our Oculus DK2. We also have HTC headset. We have a dev HTC headset, and I'm fairly certain that Steam's OpenVR project will actually support those adjustments, you know? I mean, support old hardware, kind of. Or at least I hope so, because I don't need more of these headsets. Anyway, let's get this thing going. This can't be that hard, right? We have a couple of pillars. It's like a thinner midsection, and it's actually mirrored. But a lot of this construction seems to be very geometric and pretty parallel. With most good things in life, you start with a simple box. You'll see me do this type of modeling a lot, because that's how I see the world, with boxes in mind. I'll move it up about the height of the box. No particular reason, because we'll move the origin later, so that we have a good point to manipulate and anchor the thing when it's in the game engine. But this is actually a really good asset to try and run through point by point. So polycube, let's make you a bit wider. I think maybe out to here. That's 8. Whole numbers are nice. And I want it to be a bit more deep. Not that deep. Too deep. I'm so deep. Alright. 8x2. And let's actually get some subdivisions in there. And we can do that in our construction history over here on the right side, which you can barely see, but right above me, here, I can change the width, height, and the other dimensions, the depth, which I could have put in, 8x2 by whatever. But instead, I want to use that for a few subdivisions. And I think I'll scale out the middle ones. We're talking like 1, 2, maybe 8 subdivisions wide. If that's on Z. I don't know. Let's see if that works. Oh, no. There we go. This type of thing. Yeah. You feel me? I feel me. Alright. And then I can go and the first thing I want to do is kind of deform, where are you? This guy. I want to deform the spacing of those guys. Cool. And also in the middle as well. Just make sure that I select properly. Alright, and then pull this guy in a bit more. Cool. So that's not a bad foundation. Just gotta think about, I want that middle section to be derived from this line coming here, right? And have a more narrow section here. So let's just do it. I want these faces across the top. I don't want these faces across the side. Right? And please feel free to stop me at any time. I can answer a lot of questions about Maya. All questions? Absolutely not. But I'll definitely try. Put this guy here. Looks like there's another subdivision. Actually, our first subdivision. So I can do this. Wink. Get a little bit more of that angle. Move this guy down. And so now I have a bit of a lip. Beautiful, just beautiful. All right. And it's all like if you've ever done like live sketching, live drawing, you think a lot about the ratios of go back to my notes or make a new layer for notes. I want to think about this space and how many of those it takes to make that thing right. Because I'm never going to get actual, reasonable Maya units out of this type of thing. So I think like, okay, well, it's what? 1, 2, 7 of those things? That's pretty close. We'll exaggerate it a little bit. Alright. And now, so these guys are an inset, it appears. I can't wait for the concept artist to just be like, no, that's all wrong. You must be kidding me. But sorry. This is how it appears to me. I can just do a local scale. Let's see. No, I don't want to do local manipulation. You know what I mean? This is how that shape appears to me. I get a better idea of that here. It just seems flat, just look like that line is behind it. But make it simple and then make it look cool from there. And maybe the same thing for these guys. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I might want to do one side and copy it over. We'll just do it. We'll just go. I don't know if you guys can hear any music. I definitely can't. It's making me sad. But if you were here for our earlier stream, you heard lots of music from our very own Jake Hawkins. He's pretty cool, actually. He's quite skilled. You might even call him a pro. I think that's definitely the case. Alright. And then I think this would also do well from being on the inside of this operation. Yes, yes. Let's do this. It's too soon. Take these guys. Move them down, actually. Yes. I think that's lovely. Alright. Edge. Now an edge loop, which doesn't seem to exist. But I do want this edge basically to be a loop. I don't think I'm breaking any rules. But a hard corner, I think I've covered this many times, is not going to be visible. So I'm just going to kind of cover up that guy. There's no music, so I'm just going to sing while I 3D model. It's totally fine. Sweet. Oh, you do? Wow. Okay, because I don't, and it's making me sad. But that's alright, as long as someone's hearing it. Maybe I shouldn't sing over it. This is Jim O'Rourke, by the way. I think he was a guitarist in Sonic Youth for a while. I don't know, but he's crazy good. I'm the coolest guy you've ever seen with shades. I'm 3D modeling. I'm making these battery arrays, yo.
Oh, nice. I'm so hyped for how this is turning out. It's so amazing. I can't wait to write Cyberpunk music for this.
Edge.
This rotating around.
Insert edge loop. So I want this to go across the entire model, like so. And the reason for this crazy maneuver is at some point, let's say golden ratio status, we'll do this guy. And then we will do that to make a template where it appears to kind of slot. It's Maya, Holmes. You better be. Oh, I know. There we go. So that looks kind of like a tooth. A tooth of a man. Hey, who's here? Thurston Moore? Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Hi, them, not you. Let's answer a phone call. That's awkward. Hello? No, I'm just kidding. That's rude. Don't they know I'm streaming? Yeah, this is the guy. He looks like this. No. Get everything this guy's ever made. Oh my goodness. He's a brilliant songwriter. Remember, you should catch NuRen streams live because what the heck is that? Hold on. I screwed up a long time ago. I should have just fixed it manually. Can we go forward? Can we redo? Control Y. Let's do it. Let's redo our way into the future. Good. All right. Nothing left to redo. I just saw this and it drove me nuts. Best way to edit this type of stuff is in orthographic view. If we assume that these two vertices are the same height, the ones in the middle, then we can scale down and offset them equally again. And that's actually pretty good. Hey. Hey, it's Carl. Hi, Carl. Alright, it's time to take music. Doesn't seem to be too many around. No. But we're not too few. Then again, I would probably be doing this regardless. I've been kind of messing around with this project for a while. What is that? Is that a division problem? Or is it a too many faces, not enough lines problem? Looks like the latter. I'd say the latter. So, I have two vertices. I just want to connect these components. Like so. There we go. Now we know for sure how many faces there are over here. And similar to the first problem, I would recommend to everybody in the chat that you don't want to trust these hard edges, as they will not appear in your final work. From a distance, light will not bounce off of nothing. Let's do it. I want an edge loop. I do. Oh no, an edge ring. It's like a loop, except it's a ring. And actually no. How do I press shift? This guy. Yeah, you. That's not. There we go. Yes. Right. There. A lot of people like working on super high res monitors. I do not. I have my reasons. I wonder if that's the way to go. So if I scale that out a bit, ooh, wrong scaling mechanism. Now I have a bit more of an edge, a little bit more definition. You really want to get as close as you can, kind of to start with, and then go from there. Okay, I need to see this art for just a second. Where else does this occur? It looks like that's really wide. This middle section here, I think I want to puff it out so it'll glow onto a flatter panel, which probably also means extruding this dude for a little more detail. Do it again. Have you learned nothing? Do it again. That's beautiful. Alright. And then, let's see. We'll do something similar with this thing. But I want to do them not even individually so much. Whoa. Let's see, like so. So using this kind of, there's like local and global mode where I can extrude the group, right? Or I can extrude the face, and all of the other faces will try and mimic that disposition or extrusion. And so for the case of this, I want to do something similar, where I kind of bring it in actually. And that's where that roundness comes from. People have been asking me, how do you get that roundness? The answer is Chinese food, actually. Lots of it. Because any carbohydrates that your body doesn't need immediately, it will store as fat. Lord Nightmare, I'm sorry, this is Maya 20 minutes ago. Maya, I'm a firm believer in. For no reason. It seems to be the thing that we use most at work. It's also very flexible. It's a hell of an old tool. Let's see. There really isn't a lot of detail. I could smooth that out. I'm trying to think about, do I want to do that similar to these guys where there's a point? Is that even necessary? Or do I want to put a ring around those points? I say the latter. Awesome. Go back to object mode. So what I mean by this is I need edges. I want all these edges. on an edge loop, which should go over the other side. Let's just do that. G is the repeat last function key. And it helps when you know what your selection tool is going to do. So I don't have any of these top edges selected, but I do have these edges selected. Wow. Now if I select the edges on the bottom here, I think that'll also help for the effect that I'm going for, which is making a shape. Like so. Know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. Dope. Ah, that's not cool. This guy was selected, but I kind of like that. As a matter of fact, let's take that happy accident to the max and do it on all angles. These bottom sides here, it'll generate a couple more of these weird faces. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. That appears to be rounding just fine. Just like an old calculator. I can't get that many pixels on the screen. Hey, them not you, I'm sorry. It's a very complicated thing, but I'll see you around. Thank you for stopping by. Maybe like this. Do it all. I want them all. I feel like I want them all. Okay. A little more now. Alright. Now everything seems like it has purpose. This doesn't really though. Let's fix it. What if like I need to slot this into a thing like I was Nintendo Switch clickbait? Maybe I can select both of these rings going around the top of this thing? No, that's not gonna work. Okay. Whoa, hey. Not you. You. 4? Oh, Syriac. You must be hearing music that I'm not hearing. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you're hearing music that I'm not hearing. Because I can hear the stream music in the next room, and I know that artist all too well. Can I select edge rings, like from here and here, to kind of go around the top of this thing? Completely? Nope. It goes up to the side, and that might actually be enough. So let's do that again. Because yeah, like this is getting to the point where it's actually kind of cool and almost ready to go, but I definitely want to exaggerate these edges more. Make it look like something can actually grip it. In order to do that, I'm going to convert it to contained faces. Whoa. Or regular faces? Just, there we go. I want the faces. But I don't want all these faces. Or do I? That might be a good look. Gotta try it. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I have a plan. I'm gonna plan here and act like I'm sitting. It's completely different. Dope, 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 dope. Alright. And one more thing. Save. Remember to save early and often. will this be a detailed or will this be detailed for projection map or something similar to it? Actually, so normal maps do not work very well in VR. Part of it is the rendering passes that it takes. I might use it as a tessellation map, but I do want to start with kind of like lower detail assets so that I can have more of them. The problem with VR is the problem with VR is you need to render at about 90 frames a second in order to not get people sick. That's 45 frames per second per eye, and even though it is a slightly lower resolution, for every object in the scene, you have a certain number of rendering passes. So for something that is as detailed as this, we need to actually combine as many of those things as possible into single objects in the game. Kind of batch render or instance render, I think is it's called these days. So anything that's not going to move will kind of be in a single batch. Like that's one render call. Things that are going to move might be in different kind of collections together. But you really want to figure out ways to optimize early and then kind of, I mean, I don't know, not optimize too early, but make it look good and then hopefully you don't have to cut too far down. Yes, this is my LT. I think it's like $30 a month. The Maya Enterprise software, like their kind of full package, is let's see. Our matte painted versus 3D. Flippy Monkey. Most of these elements are going to be in 3D. I can't really predict how mattes are going to go because we don't have much of a line of, like, there isn't like a progression for this stage. It's a bit random. We want to do what we can to kind of increase playability, and that might mean multiple tracks throughout the course of the stage. If you don't know about NuRen, it is a 3D, like, rock opera. It is a VR rock opera. You go through this world and search for. If you help these robots, you follow Rick's and I always get the other one's name wrong. Is it RGK? UGK? You want these robots to take down the system. It's a very rebellious theme. NuRen, the new Renaissance, has to do with rebelling against this large factory, which we're actually starting with. In the first level, they go out and they get lost in the universe to find themselves anew later on. Let's see, edge loop. That to be much larger. Do I have the definition I see on edges? Sorry, it's hard for me to talk while modeling. I'm working on improving that ability, but that's not something that I normally do. Though we do have chat on fire right now. So yeah, it is important to kind of start at a level of detail that is good enough, that it'll read from a distance, that like if I go into object mode and go, oh, now that totally looks like this thing. All I have to do is add some emissive materials, and you know, for 1,000 tries, that's actually pretty good. I kind of want to call it. So let's do that and put this in our scene and kind of go into what I was talking about. I think that there are a couple of other things about it that are a bit weird, but one trick that I think everyone should know, bit 7 I can look at this thing in lit mode, but there are no lights in the scene. So I just get a black object. And what that does is allows me to check that silhouette. And is that silhouette as good as or better than the concept art? You bet your face it is. So, this is actually a very quick thing to map as well. But that's just the thing. Rock opera VR experience. Okay. I mean, polygons are kind of in a state of, I wouldn't say cheap is free, but the idea is render passes and normal mappings and normal maps in VR are not going to work the same way. Normal maps work based off of kind of a single projection, where you have the detail coming from, the left, the bottom, and the top, or something like that. And when you're using dynamic lights, that'll show off really, really well, because that'll be re-rendered, and computers have plenty of time to do that in one screen at 1080. I think with multiple screens that becomes a problem. I don't like how that looks. Let's fix it. Sorry. I want maybe a ring here instead. So we'll start with a ring. Go to an edge ring. Keep going. Keep edge ringing. Just select these disparate edges and ring them. I'm still missing a couple. But just kind of keeping it simple and working up detail in a reasonable fashion helps not have bad geometry. And we can retop of this in 200 different ways, but it's important because I'm getting the project files soon. Oh, MLKTSH. I've got a lot of time in Maya. I've been using Maya since before I even was in college. I started using Maya 4.5 in high school. And I got as far as being like really bad with rigging. But I have a lot of confidence in it. Thank you. I pride myself in 3D modeling. I would get in trouble in college a lot for redoing my homework 7 times before I turned it in. And that would often make me cranky, and more often make me late. But hey, I don't have that much pressure on me for this time, because there are too many other things to think about. Like logistics, making sure we have enough people and systems, and whoa. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Or maybe I will. It doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. Make it something. Go back using a mix of this and this. Is it worth it? As cool as that is, I don't think that'll work well. Unless... But I do like how Maya has all of its tools kind of right there under your hand. I often compare Maya to 3D Studio Max as like guitar to piano. 3D Studio Max I think is way more of a pianist type of software. Like all of the keys are right in front of you. Where in Maya everything's kind of under your hand, you right click and you have all of these menu options, or a majority of them, kind of ready to go. Like if I hit space, like literally all of those things are there. I can't decide if I like that or not. Maybe I'll like it if I add more detail. But see, now I'm starting to get into the domain of, okay, well now you just added like another 200 faces. And for what? Because it doesn't look as stupid. That's... Alright, actually... But like all addictions, you have to know when to stop. And I think that might actually add something to it. We're getting detail out of the mesh versus getting detail... What? Wait, what's this? Overdin thread. Yes, I have read of the Overdin thread, and that's a cool game if you guys have played it. Also... I think over the last couple of months, I've watched 50 hours of different VR talks over the years, including like this year's Steam Dev Days and some of the Oculus Connect videos, where you kind of see what the heck they're learning about optimizing these projects. Because that is a problem that whole... Like, if VR as a genre or whatever, as an experience, wants to survive, they have to make it affordable and stable, and they're coming up with a lot of different best practices, though I don't know, not everything is really solved. There are a bunch of different solutions for, hardware accelerated particle systems, and for, this is weird. For things of that nature. Aha, that's why it's weird. There's like an extra face or something going on here. What is that about? That part of my extrusion? Probably. I don't like that. Is this a separate object? Like, what's going on here? Object mode. What are you? Did I hit duplicate on accident? I totally did! Alright. Well, I kind of like the hooky ones a little bit better. The ones that have this kind of clamp. Because that seems like it would grab onto a ledge. Maybe there would have to be another recess or something like that. But, I mean, if we're inserting these things the other way, like it looks like it's going into something, right? And that detail isn't there either. So maybe something that's a little bit more open. I think about it in terms of this whole thing. Comfy with UI, EA. 3D modeling, Flippy Monkey, is like a lot of different computer tools that we use inherit from like older school techniques. So like, cut and paste are terms from bookbinding, because we don't actually use paste anymore, right? Like, I hope we don't use paste with our computers anymore. And a lot of these terms like bevel and let's see, what was another one? Ooh, I kind of like it. I want this to be a little bit more angular. Just make sure I'm selecting all of those guys. Yeah. A lot of the terms for 3D modeling come from woodworking, like bevel, and not necessarily extrude, but this type of 3D media. Because the people who are using computer-assisted design tools, also known as CAD software on NPR, if you're listening to them talk about 3D printing this week, those are people that they wanted to, like architects and engineers, they wanted those people to pick that looks so much better, you are deleted. They wanted people to pick up those tools to build real things. Video games didn't come along for a lot longer. It took the auto industry a long time to get into the swing of things with these newer tools, and I'd say that they're probably as old as video games as we know them. Maybe a little younger, but the wonder of, that I think, oh no, I think I finally found my first victim. Aha, yeah, that's, this is a, 5-sided face? Yeah. That's fine. It's not fine. Let's just, get a little bit more control over him. I think one thing that's important to consider in 3D modeling is use all of your lines. Like, do not have a bunch of geometry or a bunch of wireframe that doesn't actually contribute to the shape of anything. Like if you have a bunch of flat surfaces, like the bottom here, I'll probably end up deleting that in the implementation. But I'll probably save it in case I want to do any crazy Boolean stuff and clear up faces later. And we can maybe even use this as like a projection cage if we do want to have super high detailed stuff. I really want to see, like with our dev kit setup, how far I can kind of push that thing before it explodes. And I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh, these faces are illegal. It's actually a really quick fix. We're going to go like this. Connect components. Done. Now I have I have 4 3-sided faces. One of them you can't see. It's important to do that so that we don't have that issue that you might have seen earlier, where if I look at this guy, I can't tell whether the face is turning inward or outward, right? It seems reasonable that it's facing inward until I look at it from the other side. And it's not. So, remember that. But just kind of remembering general pattern, outward to here, under to there. Connect. Now I don't have any weird faces over there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, and I think the same thing for this guy. The important detail that I want to follow is this line. Alright, so go across that geometry and that'll say, oh, that's inside. Oh, I got you. Okay, cool. I had a conversation with one of our guys here yesterday. He was like, oh, 4-sided faces, 3-sided faces, they're the damn same. And I almost punched him in the eye. Because they're clearly not. 4-sided faces work if all of the, like, if the normal is easy to solve. But in the case of this, where there are just 2 triangles that, I don't know, should that be up? I don't know. That needs to go. Now I know that's definitely in. It cannot fight with me. I was telling him, there is a difference. My name is Mitsurugi. Remember it. My name's not Mitsurugi. Hey. That was pretty quick. I think we made that in about 45 minutes. I still see a couple more places where I can fix a little bit of the normals, or the way that the computer is trying to solve these smoothing groups. Like if I look at this in object mode, you can see some of these edges are pretty soft, some of these edges are pretty hard, and that we can change in the correct shelf. This is the rigging shelf. I need to change it to like what? Why am I not seeing? Hold on. Shelf tab, shelf editor. Yeah. No. There is more UI here that I cannot see. Anyway. Hold on a sec. Hold on, you. Why can't I edit this? It should say something else. I don't want that. Let's go to Windows. Is it you? Yes. There we go. I was rigging yesterday. How I close that shelf, or that toolbar, I will never know. But that changes. I mean, talk about a deep program. Every capital letter has different, Oh yeah, Soul Calibur is great. Oh yeah. And think about the limitations they had. When I started working in game stuff, I was so in love with like how much crap that they were able to pull off with these ancient computers, these game consoles, which are like super underpowered compared to even the PCs at the time. It took, well into the 90s for that to change, for the average consumer computer to not really perform game-wise as well. Because then enthusiast computers, people who stuck to games kind of were still there. What am I looking at? Not normals. I wanted to show you guys something else. Do I see more problems? Oh, I wanted to show you smoothing group. So I can harden the edge and make all of these things like crystalline, which is how you might expect these things to look. But I want to set the normal angle here, to about there, and so I can see. Oh well, you're not really playing ball. And a lot of it is for the same reason, just because I have kind of distended triangles and super long things that kind of adjust by hand. This is the cute part. But notice how I took a long time before I got into detailing at this level. You have to kind of decide, do I want this line to go across? Do I have more 5-sided faces? You bet your face I do. Bet your 4-sided face I do. Can I do that? Try it. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. We can let the computer do this type of thing for us, and that'll kind of show more of where these faces are that we want to be careful of. So I'm kind of just doing a once over, and then I'll put this guy in the test scene, and that's kind of where we will cache and compile all of our work and think about life in general. Let's double check that our selection is good. Wireframe mode is important. I try not to model in wireframe mode on stream too much because people used to walk by my desk and go nuts, like, how can you see anything when you're doing this? Do it for 15 years. Just do it. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Alright. For purposes of mapping later on, UV mapping, I'm gonna untuck some of these details so that I can kind of make use of that space. Not stretch maps or do any weird stuff, even though it doesn't make sense now. It's like, you do it enough, you see what problems you're going to have in the future, and you want to stop those things from happening. Let's see. That should come in, I think, a bit more. Whoa, the other end. My other left. Let's see. That's pretty. I still think... Let's see. I don't think we're gonna have a hard time negotiating with our computer, whether that's inside or outside. But let's I don't know if I've demonstrated this in the past, but you guys should check this out. So if I want to re-topo or figure out what other faces I have to fix, obviously this is another 5-sided right now. But it's really not when you look at it. So let's do this. I think I can just do the simplest, like, not conform. I want to triangulate, right? So the simplest step is doing kind of that thing, and that's decent, not great. It does show you that all of these quads are made up of tries, which is pretty good. Even this weird 5-sided face thing, it actually, it's doing this operation to render it correctly on the other model. But we don't see that. We only see the lines that we've put into it. Because maybe it's just gonna assume that we're gonna do it right later or something. I can hardly tell. But I'm willing to satisfy that, just to make it seem a bit more correct. So it doesn't have to do that work. So if there's something that happens down the pipe, when we're exporting it to the game engine, that we're good to go. But yeah, the difference being, here's that. Wow, look at all them triangles. Which, this topo is actually not that bad. I'm still looking for more kind of problem areas. But I was kind of concerned about this guy for a while, but that kind of worked out. It's good. And also some of these underside parts. Why, yes. Let's put this on a new layer, which is behind my head. You can't see this. Create layer from selected. And I'm going to call this triangulated. Angulated. Ooh. Nice. Make them, I don't know, blue. Awesome. Appreciate it. And the only real effect that layer colors I have, which is super useful, and I do this all the time, is wireframe on shading. And that's a really good way to look at this side-by-side difference of these meshes. If you see a lot of symmetry, you're probably doing really well. If you're seeing stuff that you cannot predict, like one side of this mesh, they both have the same geometry on this side, but the other side looks like it's popping out or doing some crazy stuff, Probably because it is, and it probably will. But also, like, think about where we're seeing this from on the ground, right? Like, yeah, we can probably get one to move up really close to us, and maybe it would be a good idea to even make a simpler version of that, right? Fortunately, you can re-triangulate with even smaller. I think there's like an optimize button or something like that. Go clean up. Eek. Don't do it. I actually want there's a reduce. Is it you? Mesh tools. Where are you? Hey. Alright. And you can set the target mesh, like, count. So right now this thing is 1200 triangles. Not bad. I want maybe, yeah, let's say, what does it look like cut in half? So for like a level of detail pass, the silhouette's going to read about the same across the board. I can turn off wireframe on shaded. Right? You actually don't lose a lot of fidelity. And so this is kind of the thing, we can use it as a projection space. But I mean, from, you know, where we might be seeing it, like rolling on the factory floor, maybe that's all we need. But having a good enough guide for later purposes is kind of the thing to do. And when we look at it in shaded mode, whoa. Can you guys tell me which one it is? Yes, you can, of course. That's this one. But maybe that detail's not important. Dealing with scary surfaces. Actually, Matt, one of our guys here, gave me a thumb drive that has like a bunch of tutorials for. Let's add all this stuff to this layer, and then hide it or template it. Ooh. Matt gave me a USB stick. His uncle, I think, works at like some CG company that does all of the like the sports center stuff that you see, like the crazy, like, you know, car drives by and explodes and like you get inside the transmission and there's like, you know, Wayne Gretzky's head or whatever. Like and it's there are a bunch of tutorials on here for kind of how to fix kind of troublesome geometry and things like that, which I haven't even looked at yet because I'm a jerk, but I will probably look at soon. I still don't really like how that looks, so I just want you to believe in me. Connect components, do it again. Oh, caps lock is on. What do you stop? All right. Yeah. That doesn't really change much. There's still 605 polygons. But you can definitely use that also as a measure to count. Well, why don't you have exactly half as many tries as you have quads? This is a good question. Alright. Like my science project? Alright, I think we're cool here. Cool. Dig it. Let's, I don't know, maybe export it as an FBX and import it into another thing. Or we can go and see how it holds up just like vanilla in Unreal. That could be fun. Epic Games Launcher. Epic, think of it, what? Epic Hack. Let's export a thing. How about I save my scene? How about I export, select? I want to try this so bad. Just like do it. Push the button. I don't want to just launch the engine. Whoa, Unreal live stream. Actually, Unreal live streams are really good. Watch them on YouTube. Shenmue point to current platforms. OpenGLify. Yeah, Valve. I believe Valve is going to take over the universe of games. They have a really, really aggressive campaign for open sourcing a lot of stuff to their benefit. Sweet. Open. Do 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 do. Can I make a new map? I was messing around showing that terrain. You know how much terrain is going to be in NuRen? Very little. Because we don't need to be colliding with a bunch of stuff on the cheap, and that's kind of what terrain's all about. Layered materials. This is amazing. Let's make a new map. Ooh, VR basic. I'm kind of scared. What's this? Alright. Do. Let's import some stuff. What hierarchy level are we at? Starter content, engine content, regular content. Let's hide the engine content stuff. I don't need that right now. Can I hide the starter content stuff too? Okay, who cares? Next time, don't include starter content, dude. Totally useless thing. Let's import an asset, huh? Oh wait, no. Okay, how does this work? So, NuRen art test import battery thing or fab factory battery. Buttery. Export the selection. And this isn't even actually set to an Unreal project. I just want to try this. So set an Unreal project. I have somewhere on this computer. Let's go through. That's the wrong drive. Go, man, go. Select? Yeah, it's on D somewhere. It's on that drive. Whatever. I think I might have just crashed the program. Yeah, I know. Send to Unreal. Set Unreal project. D. Let's go up a level. To. I think I have an Unreal projects folder. That's the right one. Sweet. And export to Unreal. Like, can we just do it? Send to Unreal. Just send the thing I selected to Unreal. Yeah. D Unreal projects, new art test, import. Yeah. Export selection. Replace that thing. It's like you did this correctly the first time, dude. What? No. Alright, and now I want my content. It doesn't just show up in here? What? That's what. No. Alright. Do. Import? That's not fun. Auto generate collision. We're not colliding with this thing. Import uniform scale. I'm not sure what the Maya to centimeters is right now. We can change it to centimeters later. Do all that uniformly. Convert scene unit. Import. No smoothing group information. Talk about that in a minute. Okay, thanks. It's so small. Really? Yes, it is. Right. We're either inside of it or it's actually kind of cute. Look at him. I need to turn off snapping. I can feel that snapping is on. You driving me nuts. And we can also scale it, I believe, using the same keys. Whoa! And that is pretty close to how big it'll probably be in the engine. Notice how it has no material information. But also notice, and this, you know, if we're proud of anything, gentlemen and ladies, and other types of gentlemen, there are a couple issues. Whoa, right here. Whoa, right there. But it's almost passable. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be mad at all if that smoothing group stayed there. Or lack thereof. Came in with a func shader. There's no information of materials. I know there are materials. If I look in my content browser, what is this thing? Search classes. No, 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 no. No, no, no. You are not. This is not what I am in search of. I will search for maybe a material. I don't know if it comes with materials. It looks like Unreal has quite a few. There isn't any mapping information, so I'm curious about how that'll come out as well. But let's just drop that on there. Wow! That's relatively lucky for not having UV mapped anything. It looks great! Alright. Next asset. No, just kidding. We have plenty of other things to do. But from a baseline, that ain't suck. Definitely want to change this angularness down here. I think that's probably a little bit too extreme. But in terms of reading, also I want to make this protrude a bit more. Maybe not. It's kind of neat. It looks like this because I think it's using let's look at the UV map and kind of talk about that for a second. It's a box, so it's going to be using the box map that we started with. This is what our box looks like now. I started with the box. A box has UVs. You might recognize this as an unfolded box with a bunch of lines on it. And that's actually like, you know. Yeah, this is the UVs as a model. Default UVs of our box are box-like. But from where I'm sitting, I think that at least, like, can I duplicate you? Can I duplicate both of you? Can I duplicate all of you? Whoa, tricky camera moves. All right. From where I'm sitting, for my money, that actually is about right. How much did we scale this guy? 22 times. So we should remember in the future that Maya's scale is about 20 times smaller than Unreal. Also, this grid means nothing. All right. So that looks great. What a voodoo visor? Are you guys talking about black magic in our stream? That's way cool. Can we play it? No head-mounted display is detected. Alright. Amazing. Oh look, physics. This is crazy. Look, no collision. That's amazing. Alright. I'm actually quite proud of that though. We're at a point where we can start unwrapping and putting all of our scene stuff together. There really isn't a reason to do that in Maya except for scale, which we now know is ridiculous. But we have a bunch of assets. I don't know if we have all the assets we need. I still need to make a couple more things. But stuff like this, which is widely reusable, there's still some Greeble, there's still a couple of other things. Let's just save this as, I don't know, do I have like levels? Let's make a folder. Make me a folder. This is the House Rules song. Another Mint Potion stream. Limian Games, welcome. Jake, go to sleep according to our folks. This will be called the go to sleep test. Boom, done. No, it's bad for your brain. Does he know this? I'm sure he does. I mean, look at him. Alright, cool. That was lovely. Thanks. I think our Batman logo will one day rule the universe. But yeah, even though we can see that same artifacting happening over there, it's just these are not aligned. These faces have no alignment. And so it's going to try and draw out all this detail like so. Let's flatten it out. Amazing. Make it worse. Hoop, hoop. Boom. There you go. You know what? They actually made it so you can't overscale that anymore. Isn't that lovely? Oh, hey. Yeah, but they don't before you could like reverse it, like you could underscale, right? You can go, oh yeah, well, yes. That's all here and gone. Beautiful. Let's save it. Beautiful. Let's open up our other scene and get this guy in there and kind of block that out a bit more. Open scene. This thing. Scene test 1.00001. Open. Cool. I'm gonna import that guy, which is fab battery MLT. Open. Here it is. It did actually. Yes, it did. It did import my invisible layers. That's cool. I don't want them to, but I actually don't mind that at all. Like I said, we're just playing around. All right, Unreal, you've been lovely. Computer, you've been great for not whining during this whole process. Let's save all the selected objects. We are going to rotate you, which I don't know how E is. I guess E is at the end of rotate. 180 degrees. I just move it a little bit so I can see the offset, the axis. Hey, Epic Games Launcher. Who wants to play Unreal Tournament? All right. And let's start talking about product placement. Woo! This could be you. All that and more. So, back to our scene, right? I'm this guy. You're going over here. Just gonna use the magic psychic ability of our assumed scale. Because I know there's like this guy who's on a conveyor path, sorta. Pretty close. Maybe it should be closer. And we'll probably put a rail or make a rail system or a rail thing for rail. We'll put that guy over here. But that is not behind this guy. So our scale is probably going to be way off. Even still, I do want to make our mesh a bit more complex. And this to me, like I said, appears as an array. So one of the reasons I was pretty excited about building this object today, just dupe it, move it, and then let technology do the rest. That's not how that works. This is how technology works. Alright, that seems pretty good. Looks like there's a good number there. We can put like, I don't know, some kind of track thing. I'll duplicate this, my placeholder block. And like, rotate it. Up here. Up here! Would this stream be any better if I had a... What? Oh, we should change the stream description. Did I do that? Probably. Huh? Yeah, these things must be much larger anyway, now that I think about it. Or now that I operate on those units. Right? But that's the ceiling. That doesn't seem like a lot of... No, never mind. In some reasonable... what's it called? No, that's not a reasonable assumption of space. This makes more sense, just those things are too small. Fair enough. Group. Whoop. Begin. Oh, I used to have a camera in place that lined up pretty well with the concept art. I don't find that terribly necessary at the moment. Because the concept art is not going to have computer precise perspective. I don't want to guess the focal length. All of these things. All of these things are important. But what are my options? I guess what? plus your damn donal. Build a Maya at 10:20 p.m. Sir Jammy, I'm not sure what we're talking about. Mesh display normal map angle now. What are you talking about? Mesh display change set normal angle. Is this what you're talking about? To change it to 45 so that all things that are less than 45 degrees appear more smooth? Let's ask the fact. Oh no. Well, that looks a little bit better. Of course, what we're doing is we're showing, where's my polygon normal display? Show me them face normals, yo. Is we're changing the angle of these little tiny green lines. Isn't that amazing? We're saying, is the difference from this line to the next line above or below a certain height? Is that what you're talking about? Who is this Sir Jammy cat? I don't know. Looks like a chatter. Alright. What is this? It's part of another file. Let's make my template views invisible. Ooh. I want a track. I want a rail. I'm thinking about a rail, a track. The ceiling looks like it's vaulted. These vault doors look like they're sealed. See what I did there? These appear to be further apart, lengthwise. Do 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 do. Oh, I think maybe here, maybe to there. I think. Let's see what else would make this compelling. There also seems to be like a turn in this track, and some kind of station on this end. To me, it appears as a door. I see it in door form. Not to be confused with dwarf form, which is a very small man. There we go. Oh. Grow up. But that goes here, and that's going to be a very, very large device, which I can't really rely on the concept art for because it doesn't exist in the concept art. Maybe it's shorter. And yeah, this is how, I mean, there's more to this room. I think I see 90 degrees on that axis. Let's watch this chat. Please fix the faces with more than 4 verts. I absolutely will. Of which I'm sure there are quite a few. Who is this distressed Alterman? Depressed albatross. Is that like albatross but depressed? That's, I mean, there's an albatross that also shows up in here often. So, pardon me if I mistake you for another disgruntled bird. big is this room gonna be? That's all I wanna know. Let's see. That's per asset basis, my friend. Hey, how many 4-pointed bases you got? I see so many in that one. So do we start there? Do we pull out our next asset from the scene? You decide. Actually, you don't decide. Sit and observe. Where is it? What's pieces on it? Back to this other device. Oh, how's this doing? Do I still have the reference art for it? He's talking about this, right? This must be what he's talking about. It's definitely this. These aren't even polygons. These might be. These are definitely. I need to show those image plans, please. What are you? What are you? Some sort of monster? The cup. Who is this person? Huh? Hi. Yeah, I'd love to take over it. That'd be great. Let's get this back open. What is he talking about? Oh, here's one. Here's one! From the same... I think we're out of more than 4-sided faces, my guy. So we could look that up. Roisted? Put an edge in the middle, don't create a vertex pole, please, sir. Who is this cat? Put an edge in the middle? He's talking about the pole. Oh, you don't want to put them around the whole outside. I don't want to run it through. Cut these faces up. Ruin yet another thing. It's gonna cause. It's just delay. It's deferring the problem, guy. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. But you do that with a decent attitude. I'll work with you on that. He's talking about this. That means we'll maybe cut it across. Because we still have a 5-phase problem. Oh, I could remove them. Let's do this. He must mean vertex connects components. Like so. I don't think I have many more. Alright. I think you mean this. On top? Oh man. We're getting touched. Oh, he's talking about this. Yep. Yep. It's these. I'd really rather have more detail. Honestly. Edge. Yeah. Just losing my mind. Actually, I don't need to do that. Whoa. Can't see. Actually, let's do that again. Do it again. And here. What? Whoa. Stop. I do. Fixed by tessellation. Oh, here too, huh? Really? You can't see this, guys. Yeah, I see what you mean. Do. But putting that there just makes me want to use it. God. Hmm. Whoa. Stop. What you doing? A little bit finer. Oops. There we go. Tell me more. This is true. Actually, there are lights in my face. If I was on drugs, I would read chat a lot less. Should take advice from my not sober self. Alright. That's all cool. And so what our fellow bird is talking about in chat is looking for faces that have more triangles than they need, which we went over earlier. But I think it's pretty clean. I guess there's a way to do that. As long as it's not wet. Yeah. Moving the screen? Oh no. I think we're clear though. I do want to leave it as an option, showing the base of the model. I don't know that it'll be necessary considering the concept, but if the model's whole, then we can use it for other things. Change the context of it. A lot of mapping will rescale random objects. Or show this side. Like, I might as well map it, have the data there. Until I'm sure I don't need it, I don't really need to throw it out. Hmm. Alright. But I think I'm out of illegal faces. I'm running out of illegals. Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, if I knew that for sure, you know, depressed albatross, that I was not going to, I totally understand. But it should also be relatively manageable. I guess the quickest way to find out is if there's an uneven number of triangles. What are you? Actually, you know what? Now I'm kind of glad that I went through this mess, because I can see that that is uneven. Any old time, Capitan. Give me just a second to go cry. I'll be back in a minute. Let's see here. What are you? I guess I'll take this edge with me. And also, it doesn't have to. It shouldn't actually be perfectly symmetrical on either side. That would not be the way to go. Because what if I wanted to use something different with the other one? Anyway, rap with me. I'm upside down. Huh? Edge loop in the center and scaling down the Y. Where? I was talking about this guy. I would guess if I can loop through. How about? Oh man. There we go. Thinking about flattening it? Or is there another center? This is the only loop that actually goes through the entire thing. I'd even scale it up. Yeah! Just to make that shape a little bit more interesting. And do something with all this stuff. I'll see you guys in a minute. I'm gonna go stand up for a minute. Take breaks regularly. Save regularly. I'm going to try and listen to this depressed bird. As a enraged one, I feel you. Blah. How about that? Welcome back, Powerblock. I'm your host, Ben. Um, this model is fire waiting to happen. Or die in a fire if you are in that camp. I kind of understand. So I think we were talking about this middle face, which is no longer there, this middle edge. There are vertexes here still. And that's not really reasonable. We can delete those components and it'll actually go away. Um, but I think we're cleaning it up and calling it. And actually, that's a pretty good. Um, that's a pretty good, I think, method for the stream. Is kind of go through, you know, a fraction of a shift to talk about how long it takes, or not how long it takes, to talk about the kind of getting to the next completed stage of this guy, um, and going home afterwards. Um, but I don't know. Let's see. Wait, not that one. Though you could if you wanted to. Okay, so you gotta show me this other middle, dude. Is he talking about this backside middle? I actually do want to keep that detail. But I will be paying attention to you, Depressed Albatross. We could be friends one day. Um, if I lighten up just a little bit. Which, I'm not the chillest people all the time, just most of the time. Alright. I guess what we could also do is take this edge and kind of explode it. Actually, let's see how that looks. Because that'll give us another problem to solve and a reason to do so. Let's widen that up. Now I can probably get rid of these guys. Yeah, sorry, dude. I took it kind of hard. You're the first person actually going from the bottom. Oh, yeah, this guy. Yeah, you're the first person who actually have like constructive things to say on our Power Block stream, for NuRen at the very least. Because a lot of people haven't messed with tools like this before, so we might as well take it there. But we're planning a lot of stuff. If this is your first time on our channel, welcome to Mint Potion. It says somewhere in the ticker, welcome to Mint Potion, or welcome back to the stream. Let's go back to, I know there are vertexes sitting around now that I've done that to myself. There are gonna be more over here. Wait, those are supposed to be there. It was this guy connecting to that guy. Anyway, and we just want to show you kind of how we do it. What the? No, that actually is a little bit of knowledge. So that turned out to be pretty cool. Let's see here. I want to get rid of that edge and bring it back up. Gotcha. No, that's cool. I'm like really new to Twitch. I think I only have been doing this for a little while with Mint Potion. We do all kinds of shows here. Variety type streams. From the very exciting Power Blocks with Jake to the very ambitious Small Window, which we hope to bring back soon, actually. Yeah, I do that often. And so, hopefully that's cleaned up. I want to make sure that if I'm cleaning up the mesh to get rid of hidden faces. Yeah. But thanks for coming. Hopefully, you guys, if you're not following the channel, please do so. We have all kinds of interesting creative stuff. I also produce music and do game art and tech, just kind of general. I really want to make sure that I can get rid of hidden faces. So I'm going to do the same thing by duplicating and looking at our mesh cleanup. And I just want to make sure I have to fix faces with more than 4 sides and non-planar faces and apply. And just make sure that there isn't any weird like asymmetrical geometry or extra triangles. So it's not going to show any 4-sided faces, but it'll make 5-sided faces. Plain as day. But by most accounts, I would consider this actually to be much better. So I should definitely thank you for the help. Thank you for the care and attention. Just kind of double checking. Let me know if you see anything else. Going from bottom to top to middle. Let's see. You talking about this guy right here? Object mode. Edge. You? Edge loop? Yeah, that doesn't seem to be adding too much, but I could use it to kick Ravi in the nut. While I do have some experience in optimizing zero confidence in sculpting, as strange as that sounds, good night. Thank you so much, Ruin, for hanging out. I had a good time. I'm actually pretty close to done with the stream myself, but I do see some things that kind of bug me still, and that kind of comes from the extent of this mesh. And so I think that if I did something like that and pulled this out, that would get a little bit more gentle. A little gentle geometry, which is pretty good. But this is also prime for being, you know, inside or outside. You can see that this triangle kind of flips, but that's actually pretty manageable. Let's see. I guess I couldn't figure out the cleanup highlight method. I think that would just be like in this view, right? Like I would be looking at this thing, and then it would show me. Is there a highlight button? Normals and geometry, geometry only, and zero length edges. Let's get rid of. Let's see. Oh, it's all good. Would apply do that? No. Apply will just show me the faces that change. Or it'll change all the faces. I'm not quite sure what this means to Press Albatross. But do feel free to email me on ben@mintpotion.com. This I like now. Thank you for this thing. I learned a thing today. I hope you're learning a thing. NuRen? I'm famous for mumbling and messing up other people's usernames. I wonder. Like, that makes this whole thing a little less interesting. But it does give me an opportunity to do a regular manipulation that is at least even. Right? Anyway, let's save it. One more time. I just want to do this type of thing. Double check. I think we're looking good though. Not sure what happened to the highlighting, but I could mess up the edge hardness around the strange looking face. I'm not sure either. I'm not sure. We're definitely going to double check our work as we get into the like the export phase. Definitely before you start UVing, you really don't want to change your model after you start UVing. I think that this bottom edge can be put to use though. Like I said earlier, I really want to make sure that the details that I have for for edges that are in place like so are probably like, you know, we do something with them. And if that's just like extruding this a little bit or something like that, making this a bit wider, so we have, like, what I would probably do is scale and then scale less, right? We're just making a shape. It's gonna be great. I don't really know what to do with this bottom face, but again, thank you for your time. Let me stop tricking up our guys on the board, because that's what they're doing right now. They're tripping. That looks good. That silhouette looks fly. Wireframe, get that out of here. That looks good from the top, from this angle, from that angle. Hey, it actually has definition there. But I know that there's wireframe there that I really, you know, like I said, it's not getting any love. Might be worth hiding, might be worth adding like another plug type of thing or something on top. One thing's for sure, we have to make sure to remember your scaling settings. I really like how this turned out though, this kind of bend. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of this. The free silhouette test. Anyway, that's all I got for you right now. But we'll figure it out soon enough. I plan to stream NuRen 3D modeling frequently, so do check back often, follow us, make sure there's a little green heart above our channel on our page. If you're looking at our panels and all of that, our banners and stuff, make sure that you have notifications turned on so that you get notified when we start streaming. We also have a bunch of other sites where you can check us out, but we mainly operate here on Twitch. You can track our progress on Trello, which I have to also update. We have VODs from all kinds of other streams on YouTube. I think our bot also, if you hit this, will tell us where that is, Mint Potion TV, because I guess somebody took this great name already. But we have more shows coming up for you guys, more cool things to see. Thank you so much, and I'll see you sometime later.